Pirate radio is a really good thing. Don't hate the media, become the media. Pirate radio is a really good thing.
It's Sunday night at 9 p.m. on Rant.
Pirate radio has already gotten powerful enough that our lovely federal government is scared shitless.
That's right, it's Sunday night at 9 p.m. on Rant Radio, and it's time for What the Hell with Drexoll and Sumerian. If you like this show, ICQ your friends about it. My ICQ is 51558 to keep informed of the goings-on at Rant Radio. To call into the show, write this number down, 1-877-SAY-RANT, 1-877-SAYRANT. To chat with us during the show, go to www.rantradio.com and click on chat. Or if you're IRC savvy, go to the Downnet servers in the Rant Radio channel. If you want to send death threats, you can email me at info@rantradio.com. And now, here's the host of What the Hell, Sumerian.
Hey, hey, noise from the bar today. Hey, hey, what's in the attic? Hey, hey, what did the Arab say? Hey, hey, sets is erratic.
This is what they're hearing.
As of right now, What the Hell is broadcasting.
I thought this was called What the Fuck.
Well, it's What the Hell, subtitled What the Fuck, because James is not here. But Drexoll is here.
Wait,
Actually,
so-
it's What the Hell, because this is Drexoll's show.
This is true. This is Drexoll's show. Drexoll was not here last week. Yes. Why was that? Why were you not here last week,
Because
Drexoll?
Drexoll probably had a fucking life, probably.
I think I was in a really, really, really shitty mood. So shitty that I didn't even call. What do you want, motherfucker?
Well, what happened?
Nobody can hear me anyways.
Well, what?
Okay, Drexoll just did a really big rant about how he was in a shitty mood last weekend. That's why he was not here. But he is here this weekend.
Okay, so, la la la.
Yeah, we
Can everyone hear Drexoll?
I can hear the Drexoll.
Drexoll, say, turn my mic up to your microphone so we can tell how loud or how not loud you fucking are.
I can hear Drexoll just fine.
Can we?
I got the headphones on, and I can hear him fine.
Why do you have the headphones on?
I don't know. Why do I have the headphones
Give me
on?
the fucking headphones.
I always have
we use
headphones.
the plug to get another mic because there's an
So
adapter.
I have to talk without headphones.
Just for a little bit. Okay, that's good.
It is. It sounds weird. No, I can do it.
Alrighty then. So I guess we'll start right off the top by panning around. No, I don't need them. I don't like them. They make my... Oh, okay, I'll turn down the room speakers.
So we get some...
Room speakers.
I want feedback.
What?
I want feedback.
Tough shit. It fucks
Here's your
everything
feedback.
up.
You suck.
You bitch.
With that, we're going to go around the room. We'll start with me. Actually, no, we'll start with the cameraman because no one ever starts with the fucking cameraman on first base. No, I'm not going to hold on a second. You get on the fucking
Get your ass out there.
Get your ass. Get that cute tuchus out there. And your Tommy Hilfiger jeans. Oh, my God.
Yeah, you know,
Okay, we have Kurt Bert.
I remember this bitch screaming about how he would never wear any, like, fucking Gap jeans or anything like that, and he went out and bought a couple of pairs.
That's because he can. Now, moving right along, we have myself, Sean Kennedy, the fucking man, wearing my very stylish, I want to be sedated kind of clothing. And we're going to talk about my sedated tendencies later on. But next we have Media Man, who we dragged here kicking and screaming to make an appearance. Say hello, Media Man.
Hello, media man. You didn't kick it
Hello.
enough.
I wasn't kicking and screaming enough, apparently.
Okay,
Who
and
we're
then
gonna
we
call
have
tonight?
we have the mighty Dexter.
Hello.
Desmodius.
It is Desmond. Why the
Moving
hell am I
right
here?
along, we have the guy whose name I can never remember. DJ Syco.
Hey!
DJ Syco in the house. Moving down, we then have the mighty chicken. The chicken.
The cool body art.
With the body augmentations, which we're going to do a feature on, zoom right in on the cool body augmentation.
Yeah, these are fresh.
Everyone on the
You know that?
IRC, take a look
Okay.
at that cool augmentation. He has got, yes, that's right, kids, it's the imperial mark of our divine emperor.
That's right.
The guy who's not afraid to blow up planets. Yes, it's true. You may
Fuck the
fire.
light side, I'm throwing them the dart because they dress cooler.
That's absolutely true. You may fire when ready. And they never have no little kids being their savior, neither. And they would have Darth Maul would have fucking bent Jar Jar over and shoved it right up his ass. Anyway,
We can only hope we never got to see the death of Jar Jar Binks, which I know we're all praying for because there's rumors of that coming up in one of the second or the third movie.
moving right along, we have Hammerman, stand-up Hammerman, and reveal Hammer is sporting the latest in bulletproof fashion. We are going to be talking about that later as well. Yes, Hammerman, we're making him undress because we hit his shirt. So get a good look. Get a good look at Hammerman. He's sexy. All right, moving right along, we have, yes, it's true, the one, the only 200% multi-sexy
Projectile
Vomit Man. In fine.
Holy cock.
And back for a limited engagement. So limited, we're not even too sure if he's going to ask her. Get it? Limited engagement. Never mind. It's an old vaudeville joke. Anyway, I know.
We have. Is that hiding in the kitchen?
We have Private Drexoll. Zoom in on Private Drexoll.
Hi, it's Private Drexoll.
And we have.
Is that the bitch?
We had no. That's.
What?
Is that the bitch?
Is that what you call yourself? I know who.
No.
Oh.
Kimberly calls herself the bitch. That is why Desmond goes, is
sorry.
that the bitch?
No.
Yeah,
no,
that's the
no,
bitch.
No.
This
Does
is.
Daxter want to die?
This is. Big Daxter gonna die? Usha Binks, you not a bitch. So.
That's right, Raven. I'm
That's
sorry. You can basically kick me in the head later on.
But you have to tie him up first, and he gets to wear the zipper mask.
Okay.
That's it. Sweat for me. That's it. Sweat. Work it. Sweat. Come on, jiggle a little bit.
Hey, Jello.
Zoom in on some part of skin that she's sewing that she doesn't know. So we can give shower fantasies to all of our listeners for the next 2 months. I wish I was at What the Hell. They get all
I
the
can
sexy
give them some shower
chicks.
fantasies if you'd like.
Okay.
Drexoll, give them shower fantasies.
You want to kill the kitchen light, somebody?
Somebody kill the kitchen light. Oh,
look at
woolly
that.
navel. Woolly.
Navel.
Sexy.
It's like a peach.
That's
Oh,
a
sexy
like a
mime.
mutant peach.
And everybody knows that I want to fuck a mutant peach. Absolutely. Right.
Well, if you don't, then there's something wrong with you. Don't tell me.
So let's talk. There's been a lot of major developments this week in our lives anyway.
Whose?
Well, in our lives. For starters, right off the fucking cuff, we have, once again, the chicken got fucking labeled, man. The chicken got some ink happening in a large and in-charge kind of way. Did everybody on the IRC happen to see the mighty, ever so mighty, fucking tattoo that the chicken got?
If not, I will proudly display it again.
We
and
will
fear
proudly
not,
display it. Don't worry, it'll be on the website very, very soon. We have it in multi-stages, before, during, and after, so that for all of your viewing
For pleasure.
And the fact that there's updated stuff to look at.
That's also true. And when...
No,
No,
but
of
we
course
will.
not, because Sumerian's been in the Bahamas. But wait, there's more. It's not sold in any store. In fact, Sumerian is on his way back here right now as we fucking speak.
Flying his way back to us.
All the way back into this mofo. So,
From the interior to the exterior.
so we're going to have his jet
Where
lag.
is he? Where did he go?
Oh, Enki! Enki, get on the mic. Get on the mic.
Boo!
There's Enkinator.
Okay, apparently.
It's not Drexoll.
It's not
Okay,
Drexoll.
It
apparently
sounds like him.
Apparently the webcam is stalled because nobody saw Jack and shit, and Jack left town.
That's a big pile of crap. I was just watching the webcam. And
No, it just didn't take a picture at that time. So, what we're going to redo is we're going to rebroadcast a
The
picture.
So they're saying
of
the
it.
cam is down.
No, the camera's up. I just looked at it. Just loaded it.
Okay,
We'll load it and walk out here.
Okay, well,
right.
apparently,
so
apparently
show
Inky,
the tat, and Kurt Bert will fucking do the full meaty, full edge meal deal. Turn it
Hold-
slightly so it catches
hold-
the light more. Come
hold-
towards me,
hold
come
his
towards
leg
Kurt.
up, hold his
Bang,
leg
there we go.
up.
No, stop. That's good.
Is that rocking
Bert,
or
can
what?
you zoom in on that?
Oh, we're taking
I've got
his
digital
picture
photos
time.
of it.
we're taking digital photos.
So, for those listeners out there, very shortly you're wondering, what the fuck did the chicken do? I got like a great big coffee cup sized tattoo.
Not only that, but
Your tattoo will have no red eye.
That's right. There will be no red eye on my tattoo because it's
So
got no eyes in it.
it's been zoomed in on that fucking thing for like 20 seconds now. So
You want me to-
Flex, Jay. No, come on, flex. Don't give me the pussy flex. Give me the.
we're all talking
Give me
about
the real
flexing
deal,
and shit
baby.
here.
Come on, come on,
Make me
come on.
hard.
Work for it, work for it.
Make me hard as your vest.
All right, moving right along, we
Come on,
have
stand up, do it for me, baby. Work the camera, work the camera.
the reason why we're all going off here is because, in fact, the Hammer is leaving tomorrow. Yes, it's true. The infamous Hammer is, in fact, leaving for Shiloh, Manitoba. Shortly thereafter, we'll be departing to Croatia. That fun and happy place. Every day is precious. And don't walk on the grass, because it'll fucking kill you.
And what does Hammer have to look forward to over in Croatia?
Tell him what he's also won, right?
You won 2 free tickets to Croatia. One's shitty, so's the other one.
You actually get to stay in a large metal box filled with sweaty, loud people who are drunk all the time. Not only that, they get to walk their cow and throw it 40 feet in the air and watch it spread out.
You also have
Where
the
major
opportunity to be
import
shot
is
at.
Slivovitz. The major export is Slivovitz and landmines.
Landmines brought to you by Motorola, another fine product. We bring bad things to life. Yes? Yes, it's fucking true.
And there's no civil unrest over there, no elections, no hostile hatred, and a couple French peacekeepers over there didn't get shot 2 weeks ago.
So, being as all that has happened, we are going to talk about options that we have taken to make sure that our hammerman will return to us in good, fine, functioning, nail-pulling form.
Hang on, wait a second. I don't want anything to happen to Hammer, but you did say a couple of Frenchmen got shot, right? Let's think this one through, people.
All right.
They weren't killed. They were only wounded.
So, Hammer will now stand up, and the webcam will display prominently the gift from... Well, actually, it's the Tweedsmuir Marine Corps was the group that actually got it for him. But that's
when you care to give the very best.
We went out and we actually purchased brand spanky new. Never been used. Class 3 concealable armor. Yes, it's fucking true. Because, well, he actually is the only one in the group who actually stands to get shot within the next 6 months. Provided, the FCC doesn't descend on us like a fat kid on a Smartie. But, which is entirely possible. So
because
let's have a rear shot.
So entirely Smartie-like.
Spin for me.
And the FCC
spin, and show that mighty body armor. Yes, it's fucking true. So in honor of the body armor, of course, you gotta wonder what we're gonna play next. Absolutely.
Yeah, with the miniskirt. Well, the miniskirt.
To my fellow upper and lower class, wear body armor. If I could offer you only one piece of advice for the future, body armor would be it. Benefits of body armor have been proven in scientific laboratories, and our society is going to hell in a handbasket in a rocket-assisted fashion. All my other advice pertains to trying to live some kind of a decent life. You can listen to it, or you can tell me to stuff it, but I'll dispense my advice now.
than a pissed off mink in a rabbit hole wired on BZ compound. But trust me, on the body armor.
What more can you say?
There it is. Wear body armor. You know
Wear
it's
body
good.
armor.
You know you should. And the Hammerman is the first man of the crew to actually have some fucking decent body armor. But if we actually go around there, and speaking as basically he's going to a war zone, we're going to go with a fucking combat theme tonight. Yes, it's true. So we're going to tell you some fight stories. Some big, meaty motherfuck fight stories. And these are fight stories that actually, the stories you're about to hear are true. The names have not been changed because we don't give a fuck.
There are no innocent.
There are none innocent. They fucked with us, all must pay. Fear attracts the fearful, the strong, the weak. Okay, starting it all off, we're going to go with Dak Dak the Lactac, the fucking maniac, Wolver Judge Desbo, as he's called by men and children alike.
And by Indian legend.
Once I was running through the prairies, and the great moose come say to me, "Must run, Desmond Horny." So, I took it as spirit guide and ran hard and fast and free. And Nunuk, the giant bear, also run faster than me and said, "Bud?" And I said, "No, thank you, I drink coconut." Anyway, so, starting right off, we're going to go with, do we have like a combat, kind of a cool combat sort of intro that we could do? We have no yes, bullshit. I will improvise on the fly right now. A cool combat intro. Here it is.
Satan, 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 Satan.
There it is. That's your cool combat intro.
Okay.
I did the spawn. Satan, 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 Satan. All right, good enough.
All right,
Great.
you want to talk about my best fight story, the one where I kicked the most ass. I'm working at the hospital. Imagine that.
Oh, what a fucking surprise.
Downtown militarized zone.
Yeah.
And I get a code 66, which is whenever they have a serious problem, whenever they need physical restraint or assistance, they used to basically scream on the overhead mic, code 66. And I get my ass running down towards 1 South, this is where they call it in from. I get down there, and I see these 3 guys. Now, one guy is basically got this patient, little woman, he's holding her by the neck, and he's slapping her face.
Oh, I remember this.
I got another guy who's holding on to one of my nurses in a chokehold, and I got another guy who's standing there keeping some people away.
Pause. Notice at this moment that it is, in fact, Desmond's nurses. They are no longer... The Desmond is extremely easily agitated and is very possessive of his pack. There is only 1 Dak per herd. Unpause.
Okay, so I go running down there as fast as I can, and I see the guy who isn't holding on to anyone turn around and see me. So I jump up and I just kick him. Ran full tilt, ran into him, put the boot right into his chest.
How much do you weigh, Desmond?
I weigh 260 pounds.
Excellent.
Did you do that cool Jet Li jumping 2-foot kick thing?
No, it was just 1 foot. It was
Just sort of lifted the foot, didn't really stop, stepped on him as you went by. And...
No, he goes flying back and he hits the nurse's station and the glass breaks.
Freeze frame. And notice that although the Desmond seems to be a large, it is capable of great speed and high leaping. Unpause.
So, I kick the guy in the chest. He goes flying back into the nurse's station. The glass shatters. He falls down. The guy who basically was choking the nurse lets go and basically throws a punch at me.
Wait, you said the guy you leaped through the air and landed on with both feet while traveling vertically fell down.
Yes.
Imagine that. Why?
Mass momentum.
There's a problem with physics. Yes, bodies in motion, bodies that are stationary. Yes. Carry on. So the glass breaks.
The guy falls down. The guy who was holding on to the nurse lets go of the nurse and comes at me. Throws a punch. He clips me on the shoulder. I just punch the guy as hard as I fucking can right in the throat. He drops.
Pause. The Desmond, although not easily provoked, does have real force and is quite often responsible for many deaths. Unpause.
You know, I gotta say, it's really handy that you were in the hospital at the time before they had that instant tracheotomy that the guy probably needed.
At any point, did that little kind of sound come in? It was Desmond Kilroy. While cleaning up his microwave oven one day, something went horribly wrong. Dun dun dun! Instantly turn green, smell 3 times your side, run towards nearest wall. Slam.
Where'd those purple jeans come from?
Oh my God! Check out the purple jeans. Ding 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 ding. Okay, so
I punch the guy in the throat. He drops. Now, the guy who's basically slapping the crap out of this woman, who I will tell you who the hell she was in a minute, doesn't see me. So I grab him.
Pause. At this point, it becomes readily apparent that even though in a combat situation, the Desmond can switch into a stealthy and creeping mode. Notice how the unsuspecting felon does not sense the approaching danger of the predatory Desmond. Unpause.
In Rollmaster, that would be a plus 25% critical strike from
Like,
behind.
how the fuck do you sneak up on someone after jump kicking one guy into a wall,
I broke glass.
breaking a window, shattering his fucking chest, the window, and probably the wall, and the drunk guy who's sitting outside mumbling to himself fell on his face. Okay, and part of the stucco comes off. What the fuck was that? I mean, seriously, man, you got people like fucking in Africa. Boom! You know? Obi-Wan Kenobi's all fucking, I felt a great disturbance in the force, you know? This fucking guy smack, 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 multiple echo levels. Fuck. And then you smack a guy in the fucking throat. Oh, kick your... Notice the loud crushing sound. Much like projectile vomit, well, all the guy can say. You no longer have the use of vowels. You can only speak in consonants. That's all you can say. You can't buy a vowel, fuckface. Okay? Have a day. Have two of their small. There you go. Pack a lunch. Take some pills. Insert large rubber hose down your neck so you can fucking breathe. Okay? Thanks for coming out. Bye-bye. Now you sit there. Mind the wall. Okay, so...
I grabbed the last guy around the throat, and I put him into a chokehold.
This is the guy who didn't see you.
Yes.
Fucking natural selection in action. Was he using sign language or what? No, meaning me.
Girl on the left, that's awesome.
I grab the guy in a chokehold, and he starts to basically try to... First of all, he doesn't claw at my arm. He starts to go for something in his pocket.
Yeah, his cross.
A large steak, perhaps.
So I was actually worried at this point.
Quick,
so
distract him with meat.
You were worried at this time. Oh, my God.
No.
There's 3 men attacking people in my hospital. They've got one of my nurses. He's going for something in his pocket. Now I'm worried, even though he's just, like, decapitated one guy. And, like, the other guy's trying to pick his own teeth out of the back of his head. You know, fuck. Yeah, I'm worried now. He's going into his pocket. He might have a lighter.
Actually,
He's probably going for his last fucking cigarette.
I was actually worried about a knife, so I took the...
so I ripped his whole head off.
No, I came close, though. I took the chokehold, and I turned it into a hip toss. But I didn't let go of his neck.
So I'm having a vision of a giraffe, actually, at this point. It's like, you remember those toys you used to get that you could pull out really long, and then they get Mr. Strong Guy? And
Mr. Stretch Armstrong.
Stretch Armstrong. So let me get this straight. You grabbed this guy, you had him in a chokehold, and then that turned into a hip toss.
Yes.
Now... Observe this. Notice how the Desmond uses constrictory tactics and large thrusting motions. Like, what, you just threw your hip into it, or what?
I just threw him my hip and then just basically rolled him over it. And he slammed.
Did you land on him?
Yes.
Ah, I see. The Desmond is adept at using great size against his opponent.
I can vouch for that.
That's like a Static X album, you know, like you know what the fuck.
Everything goes into slow-mo, just like Street Fighter.
Yeah, you got that. Finish him, you know. And Buddy's all. The other guy's all. You know, he's speaking fucking Sanskrit. So
start to finish, the whole fight took 5 seconds. I was the most impressed I've ever been with myself.
Did you have that cool tracer thing, like when you do really fast moves in Street Fighter games? You know, when you have like the image of you behind yourself.
I have no idea. All I know is I just put the guy down, and that was the end of it. I looked up. I'm looking for another opponent. There's nobody left to play.
That's pretty fucking mighty. That's,
he broke all the toys.
Wolver Judge Desbo actually has more fucking stories that you could shake a stick at. He also bit a guy's ear off once.
Got stabbed, got shot.
Some moron in a SkyTrain station spit on him, and Daxter laid him out with a one punch. He goes, smack, thud.
And knocks two of his teeth down his throat.
And then ran away.
And then ran away because he's thinking there, oh God, I killed him, right? And then he comes home and he goes, Sean, I think I may have killed someone. And I said, what happened? He tells me this at a SkyTrain. Hey man, you got to fucking smoke? No, sorry, I don't smoke. Fucking rent-a-cop. Huck tooey. Daxter reacts poorly to this for some strange reason.
I was having a lot of fucking stress.
And here's the pitch. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's really good. He's sliding. I mean, the guy like gets 3 or 4 feet of air, lands on his fucking back, and does the mighty slapping, crunching sound. Sort of like drop a steak on a piece of linoleum. That's the sound he made.
Before you hit him, Desmond, did you do this?
He points to the sky, winds
No,
up,
I did
and
not
then,
point to the bleachers.
You know, your shoes are untied.
Why do you hate in the bat?
Funk. Oh, you fucking spiraled down on the E-crit table, fucknuts. So what happens next is Desmond then goes, "Oh God, I punched his whole fucking head off. His head
3
stuck
feet in the air."
His whole head came off.
However,
I with a hubcap. Shoot off my
however,
red wheel.
I will say that I used to think that was the best punch I had ever seen. Now, that was definitely the hardest punch I've ever thrown. However, the best punch I ever heard.
Oh no, we'll get to that.
Okay,
we'll get to
that's Sean's
That
story.
wasn't even a scene. That was an audio. That was a wave file.
All right. In any case, but so Daxter calls me up and he goes, "Sean, I think I may have killed some motherfucker." Of course, you know, because naturally, if anyone thinks we killed anybody, I'm the first person they call. I don't know why that is. The chicken story is next, and he did exactly the same thing. I don't know why that is. Sean will understand. Sean kills lots of people. I just killed this guy. Is that wrong? Hey, these things happen. You know. Anyway, so he calls me up. He explains the story to me because there's all kinds of fucking cameras. The SkyTrain is like an elevated train, right? There's all kinds of cameras watching this. And he goes, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Well, wait a minute." He's like, "Oh, they got me. I said, "Fucking Daxter, you know what happened here? Some fucking guy who's a security guard, because all the guys who run security there are ex-cops and shit.
Or current.
Or what?
Or like current
Or current
reservists.
cops or ex-military, some shit. They've all dealt with scum their whole lives. So some fucking rent-a-cop sat there, watched the night's tape, and went,
Street level justice.
"Hey, Greg, fuck, you gotta see this, man. This is fucking mint."
You know, that's your clip is
This
probably
some
on the
fucking
internet
guy,
somewhere.
He comes up to the security guy. He's looking like he's looking for a smoke, and then he spits on him, and the guard just fucking nails him. This, of course, then turns into an MPEG file coming soon to a fucking server near you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's what's going to happen. So don't be surprised if you see fucking Wolver Judge Deswell. There's the wind-up, bang, with an overdubbed soundbite where this guy goes fucking cuckoo, cuckoo, splat. That'd be so mighty. Oh my God. So no, you're not getting charged. They're probably giggling their ass off. I probably know a few cops who take that shit home and jerk off to it. All right.
Hit the.
What happened? Oh. All right. Moving right along, we've got who's going to be next? I guess
Let's let
next or
the chicken
Drexoll?
next.
Chicken.
I'm on deck, I guess.
You're on deck.
Okay.
The chicken.
The Destroyer of Worlds.
Chicken,
That's right.
Destroyer of Words. The other unsung Sith.
Best fight I ever got into, Ultimate Fighting Championship 6. No, just kidding.
Cam Shamrock. You bitch.
Yeah, this probably happened back in '92. I used to work at a paintball store, and I was coming home, and I was dressed in my Colorado Rockies baseball hat, my leather jacket, and lo and behold, because I worked at a paintball store, my Tiger Stripe combats.
Also, they're very fucking cool.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm wandering home, whistling away. I had a pretty shit day at work because my
This
boss
is important. What were you wearing on your feet?
probably just my high-tech Magnums.
Okay.
Yeah, matter of fact, yeah. They were
So
my
we
high-tech
have a guy
Magnums.
with baseball jacket looking very much like a Michigan militia extra walking home from a paintball store.
Yeah,
now,
pretty much.
Understandably, the listeners must realize that the chicken. This is the story on why he is called the chicken. Actually, the chicken.
This is the origin of the chicken.
This is the origin of the chicken. The chicken at this time is about 5.
I'm 5'8", so
You're
5'7" and a
So he's
half.
about 5'7" and a half, and he was about 135 pounds at this stage, compared to the bulking 150 or so he is now. So he was a fledgling chicken.
Okay, the only way I would ever weigh 150 pounds is when I'm on in the show here and on camera, because the camera adds weight. I to this day weigh 135 pounds.
Oh, okay. So you were like what, 120 at this time or so?
135 with kit. How about that?
Yeah, 135
Right, so-
with 10 pounds of knives. Okay, so
Yeah.
which is actually about accurate. So
So I'm walking home, and I'm cutting through, conveniently enough, past those like the medical sort of distribution office, all this type of place, right?
this is
pretty
what we
close to
call
a park.
in the industry foreshadowing.
Exactly.
Dun,
I'm
dun,
cutting
dun, dun,
through
dun,
an
dun.
alley, and lo and behold, there's this guy who's about Sean K. the fucking man's height, and Sean K. is not a small guy.
Well, I'm about at that stage it would be about 6'2" and probably around the 220 mark.
Yeah, pretty fair. Now this that's not a fucking beanpole. He's got an average build, so whatever that entails.
Okay, so he's probably about 185 pounds then.
Yeah. So he's got like a good low fucking 50 pounds on me, easy. Probably
to
closer to 60.
Not to mention 6 inches of height.
Yeah, on a
which-
skateboard.
Pens to be intimidating.
Yeah. So the guy comes up and immediately starts tearing into me about the pants. Oh yeah, you fucking cool guy, ex-army, haha, G.I. Joe with the combat pants. Oh, this is just great. Okay, this isn't like, my childhood basically being relived all over again.
Yes, we all love being picked on.
That's right. So I'm like, alright buddy, whatever, I'm just going home. So he starts skating like circles around me and stuff like that.
Where
I'm
are
like,
you going? I'm going
going home.
I'm going home.
You can't do that.
You can't
Yes,
do that.
I can.
I'm going home.
So the guy gets up and starts calling me more names and stuff like that. I'm like, listen, I've had a shitty day at work. I'm just going home. And at this point, normally, like, from my background of getting picked on and beaten up at school, whenever I see somebody starting to pick on me, I usually kind of... You get intimidated. Scared's actually a very good word, because this is what you're used to.
Fight or flight instinct begins to come into play.
Yeah, so I start shaking a little bit, getting those kind of, like, preemptive kind of, wow, I'm going to mix it up here, I think, right? So the guy steps off of the skateboard and pushes me.
Pause. Notice at this point the chicken would appear to be quite weak and an easy target for larger, more dominant prey. Unpause.
So now the hands are out of the pockets. And I'm like, oh god, now I got the shakes really badly. But I'm angry because I've had a shit day at work.
Pause. Also understand that the shakes is not induced by fear, as an often misconception. What this is your body. The more you shake, that is in fact your adrenal gland going absolutely shithawk marimba and pumping enough adrenaline into your system to kill a small horse or a very large dog. Unpause.
So this is about 2 feet from like the wall of this medical complex at this point. So I'm like, listen, I'm going fucking home. Leave me the fuck alone. Well, the guy throws a punch at me, and I sort of like brush to the side, and he catches me in the shoulder. And just like the old Bugs Bunny cartoons, and you see all the shit movies where people snap, lose it, see red.
And the last sound that the chicken heard was...
There was... I'm not making this up at all. There was actually the flash of red. The next thing I know, this guy is up against the wall. I've got him in a chicken wing.
A chicken wing, for those who are unskilled, is when you take your own hand, place it behind your back, then invert your wrist so that you're trying to grab your elbow with an open sort of hand fashion in a very uncomfortable manner. Only imagine that there's a person holding it. Unpause.
And I hear this crack! Quite audible.
You cracked his arm?
Well, he
No,
actually
wait for it.
brought his hand up to his elbow, is actually what he did.
Ow!
So, the guy drops to the ground on his knees, and now he's screaming. And I'm seeing that his wrist is actually bent flat almost against his arm.
Notice how your wrist does not actually do this.
I've seen it happen. It's cool.
And in true pop-up video fashion...
Why is everybody quitting?
People are timing out.
Pink timeouts.
Whatever. I'm going on with the story here.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the guy drops to his knees, and he's screaming. Now,
I wonder why.
probably because I just broke his wrist. So, not to be content with the fact that I just broke this guy's wrist, and the fact that I'm still angry,
Chicken rage!
I grab his skateboard off the ground,
This is insult to injury.
grab the truck, so basically the wheels and the axles and stuff like that, invert it, and I spike it in the back of this guy's head 3 or 4 times. I basically butt stroked this guy with his own skateboard till he fell sideways on the ground.
You don't know where I've been, Lou. You don't know where I've been, Lou.
Oh my.
And then I ran home, because that's when the downward rush came, and you realized you just fucked somebody up, and skaters usually hunt in packs. And then I phoned Sean Kennedy, the fucking man.
From this point, I will tell the rest of this story. I get a phone call. Ring. Oh, I wonder who that could be. Click. And there is a very anxious, obviously fucked up chicken on the other end of the phone. And I said, hello? And I hear the chicken come back to me, and he's like, holy shit, Sean, I was just in the fight. Mental image goes through my mind of the chicken, all horribly fucking mangled and bleeding from the face. So I immediately say, where are you now? I'm at home. Are you okay? Yes. Are you hurt? No. Understand that his judgment is impaired because he is still in adrenal must kill, run, must kill, escape, kill, run, escape mode. Okay, this is what his brain is going. It's speaking only in, like, nouns. So, pain, hurting thing. So he goes and he's like, I'm like, what happened? And he goes, well, I was walking home and this guy comes up and he started pushing me and I grabbed him and I threw him in a chicken wing and I think I broke his wrist. Why do you think that? Well, I brought his palm up past his elbow. Okay, that'd be a safe assumption. Did you bring it up through the arm or slightly off to the side? I was off to the side. Okay, then, I would say that wrist is broken. Did you hear a noise? Yeah, it echoed off the building. Okay,
that would be a break.
That would be a break. One of the 56 bones, perhaps all of them are probably gone now. What did he do? He screamed and fell on his knees. I see. And what did you do? I picked up his skateboard like a rifle and butt stroked him in the back of the head with it 5 times. What did he do then? No, nothing. He wasn't moving. He didn't move after the first one. At this point, I go into damage control mode. Did anyone see you do this? I don't think so. Did he even hit you? Well, he kind of knocked me in the shoulder. Let me get this straight. A guy walked up to you on a skateboard, said some shit, punched you in the shoulder, you threw him a chicken wing, broke his wrist, and then butt-stroked him with his own skateboard until he went unconscious and is probably dead. Yeah. Well, right on. You kicked this guy's fucking ass.
I think the line you said, which will stick with me, is, Ryan, you weren't in a fight. That was a beating.
You fucking raped some guy who fucked with you. Worry not. And Ryan's mom at the time was like, "Oh, Ryan, you bully!" You know what? You know, some fucking guy comes up to Ryan and Ryan completely thump fucks this guy. Like, "Oh, aren't you embarrassed?" I'm sure he's telling the story like, "Yeah, there was another rival skate gang and they kicked my ass."
These 30 guys.
My mom started crying because she couldn't believe I could be so potentially violent to people.
Well, fuck around. Sorry.
Little did she know.
The chicken is easily angered and not to be provoked. So, and this is why...
Is it easily angered or difficult to calm down?
The only part that scares me is the metal plumage.
Yeah, the metal plumage.
I'll just
Do not
play
fuck
my
with
feathers.
the foliage of the chicken. So, moving... Yeah, we'll go on to Drexoll's story. Drexoll. Okay, anybody else got a cool fight story?
My story's really weak and lame compared
All right,
to those ones.
say a really weak lame one.
No.
Make something up.
Okay.
Tell us when you run now.
Lie. You can tell that infantry one. That was a cool one.
No, that was weak and lame too. I didn't even actually get in a fight.
All right. Media man. Bert?
Hammer's got to have one.
Actually, I have the
DJ
hammer
Syco?
story. I have the origin of the hammer.
This is just as cool.
The
This
origin
is
of the
just
hammer?
The origin of
Ooh,
the hammer.
cool. Story time, mommy.
Understandably, that the Siskinator, Jason Sisk, is called the hammer for a reason. This handle was not given to him arbitrarily. This was, in fact, earned. What happens way back when Sean K was the fucking man, was in the army, we were all training to go to Yugoslavia. That tour didn't happen. I didn't get to go. Bummer. I'm out 20 grand. What happens is we are stationed to different batteries. They're doing riot training. And in riot training, what they do is they have one battery who's issued to be enemy force. They show up in civilian clothes and act like drunk, unruly fuckfaces, with one big guy out in front. The army, on their drill side, lines up and pretends to control them. Part of the riot controlling technique is they find the guy who's the instigator, they run over, grab the instigator, and drag him back through the army lines. So you have a line of army, they grab the instigator, drag him back through army lines. Now, the one person who was playing the enemy force instigator was a fellow by the name of Warrant Barth. Warrant Barth is fucking huge. He's the kind of person who'd be named Barth. Okay? The guy's fucking immense. No shit. He was like 6'5", and without a word of a lie, like 300 pounds. Most of it fat, but kind of like this big, stocky, beef bone motherfucker, okay? His wrist was as thick as my lower calf. You know, he's just this huge fucking guy. One of the biggest guys around. He's not really exceptionally tough, but all he'd have to do is like raise his arm and drop it somewhere on your collarbone, and you'd probably fold and die.
Just due to the weight of the thing falling from space.
Now, he is in uniform because I guess he had to work. So he has his rifle, but his rifle isn't in play. He's just got a rifle on, and the rifle's slung with the strap riding over the collarbone and then down across the hip, so it goes across the center of your chest like a bandolier. So, at this time, he is the initiator going... Burr, 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 burr. Now, since Sisk is not really that fucking big, he's only about 5'8", 5'9", what are you? 5'10", and what do you weigh?
150.
He's 150 pounds. So he's kind of slender, okay? Good runner, fast guy, not that fucking big. Definitely not big enough to fuck with Warrant Barth. So the army, in their wonderfully twisted sense of humor, goes, okay, there's the instigator. Sisk! Go get him and drag him back across the line. And a huge chuckle runs out across the line. Sisk, at this time, was a heavy gunner. So he hands off his C6, which is also, for American listeners, a mini-me, which is a 7.62 MAF 967 round a minute feed fucking disher of flesh and pain. Hands that
Big
bitch
boom.
off, drops all his ammo, and, like, without a word, darts out like lightning on between the fucking riot squad. Warren Barth is turning around, laughing at some of his friends, exposing his rifle on his back. Sisk jumps up. Actually, no, this is wrong. He runs up, grabs the rifle, and twists it. as he twists, the rifle strap tightens, the rifle strap rides up, and Warren Barth now has the rifle strap in his armpit and the other side of the rifle strap on the neck, and it's trying to force his armpit and his neck together in this really draining sort of a choking, I can't get blood to my brain kind of method, which really sucks a lot. And Sisk doesn't give a fuck because he just takes it and twists it. Then he jumps up in the air with both feet and lands on the inside of the back of the knee of Warren Barth, which of course then tumbles down like a large sack of shit or other such ballast-type material. He goes, Marf. Everyone is so shocked that none of the rioters nor the fucking riot police can say a goddamn word. They're all standing there staring at this display as the Siskinator is going, and much like an ant dragging, say, a moose carcass back to his lair, okay, I'll fucking kill you, you cocksucker, come on, I'll rip your fucking head off. He gets him back through the line. He drags this 300-pound man like 15 feet, okay, while he's fucking turning 3 shades of bright blue, okay? The guy was a robin's egg on his face before the time he got back across the line. He releases Warren Barth. Everyone's standing there astonished, looking at this. Sisk is heavily panting, and from somewhere out in the distance, somebody goes, "It's the hammer!" And that is no shit where the hammer story comes from.
One riot, one hammer. No exceptions.
And since he was a heavy gunner, everybody had no fucking doubts then. It's like, hammer will fucking gun anybody. He would have just shot that fat motherfucker. He would have put more rounds through him until he weighed about 110 pounds and then kicked his ass. It's really easy when they don't move like that. You're going to lose 100 pounds. I lost 100 pounds in 5 seconds. Ask me how. So that is the infamous hammer story. No shit. Who's left? Who's left?
Mama.
Okay, we have Drex, if he's going to bother.
You weren't paying attention.
Okay, what about you, Enki? You got a fight story? Okay, cool.
Okay, that's no good.
Okay.
All right, so I guess I'll do mine.
And so we have the last one. We have the Sean story, which actually is the story of also, I believe, me and Coma Boy.
Coma Boy. This is a kind of a collaborative story. I'm going to have Daxter's help with this one because a certain portion of this story I don't actually remember. What happened here was we went to Enki's had a friend, and this friend had a friend, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, there's a woman leaving this guy because he's a crack addict, okay? The guy's hooked on crack, total piece of shit, beats his wife, goes out, fucks around, brings home diseases. Phase 5, piece of shit, should be shot, okay? So we go to the house, and we're going to do the classic buddy goes to work, we move in, take everything out. We call it Delta Force moving. Anywhere, everything is ready to go 24 hours or less. We show up, pack all the shit into 3 trucks, and we drive away. That's the plan. Of course, this never fucking happens, okay?
No,
we show
dickhead
up,
comes
we're packing the trucks. We get the trucks partially packed, and Fuckface comes home. Description of Fuckface. Flash screen. Fuckface is about 6'4"-ish, blonde, and a construction worker. Now, he's not really big, but he's kind of like tall, fairly wide and toned, and kind of
was in good shape.
in a junky sort of way. All right, well, okay, he was a big guy.
He was in good shape.
All right, now he comes home, and of course he's a little bit angry because there's 12 guys running around, or 16 guys, or whatever the fuck it was, running around his house packing all his shit. Now, at this time, Wolver Judge Desbo is assigned to protect the girl. You protect the girl! Right? Wolver Judge Desbo goes into knight in shining armor mode, where he's like, alrighty then. And he's standing there with this guy fucking losing it, putting himself between him and this woman. And he's just like very calm. No, you're not going to talk to her. And he shoves Desmond, and Desmond just grabs him and puts him into a wall and leans on him, and he's like, fucking so he runs around, makes a whole lot of noise, fakes calling the cops because he doesn't want to call the cops because he has drugs and guns in the house, which we didn't know at the time.
Which that kind of had me a little bit worried when I found out about the guns because I don't like getting a shot at. I've had it happen. It's not fun. It hurts.
So he goes and what's this?
Keep going.
All right, so what happens is the guy runs around, goes outside, and is running around on the lawn, faking shit. At that time, Bob from Peru, who hasn't been on the show in a coon's age, comes up to me and says, hey man, why don't we just go inside, keep packing shit so we can get the fuck out of here? Okay, Bob from Peru, ever being so bright. I then go inside with the girl, Bob from Peru, and me. That's it.
Inky was in there too.
No, I was outside.
Were you
He was
outside?
At this point, he was outside. Now, everyone who's there is all outside packing shit into the trucks, making sure everything's fine.
I'm watching Dickhead.
He's watching Dickhead, who's running around on the lawn.
to the part where Enki comes in, let him do his own voice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Inky did have a comment in this story.
Okay. So she's in the room. Shane is in the room with her. She packs up a box, hands the box to Shane. Shane then says, okay, take this out to the car. The bedroom is at the end of a long hallway. So I'm like, okay, turn. Shot cut to Buddy outside on the lawn, running around in little circles, making himself, oh, man, motherfucker, I'm so mad.
All of a sudden, he realizes all these people are back inside the house doing what he doesn't want them to do.
Well, he actually realizes most of the big guys are outside.
Yes.
So since the big guy who stopped him from smacking around his wife the first time is outside, I can slip by him and get at the woman.
So he goes tearing off, running
Winds
inside.
himself right the fuck up.
He winds himself right the fuck up.
And goes tearing off inside.
He comes running into this house, and I mean, he has fucking come into the house to kick ass and take fucking names. He is not even asking questions. He is just whoop-assing all over the place. He runs into the hallway. I turn. There's a box there in my hands. I see him turn the corner. He winds up and punches the thermostat off the wall for no reason whatsoever other than there's some sort of polygonal structure in front of him, and he decides to smack it. This is a sure sign of redneck crackheads.
It was a display of martial prowess.
It was a display of
He
martial...
shattered that plastic like nobody's business.
Yeah, he definitely beat the fuck out of that thermostat. But that was all he beat the fuck out of that day. So then he descends down the hallway. Now, most of this I had to remember post the incident. Or was told about what actually happened next.
Sean, like Ryan, went into red phase.
It's, I've had enough of being picked on. I'm madder than hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
I think that
happened previous, a couple of years ago. That's an interesting story, too.
With me?
Yes, with you. The fight that didn't happen.
The fight that didn't happen with...
Go and tell that and all.
Okay, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. So then what happens is he comes down the hallway. He's going... and apparently, I don't really know what happened next, but everyone heard it. So we'll shot cut to outside.
Okay.
So you hear this... shot cut outside the house.
And all of a sudden you hear the meatiest fucking no doubt in your mind that somebody's face just got punched. I have Sean K's wife, the dark one, is outside inside a van with the two kids that basically belong to Dickhead and the woman we're moving out of there. She heard the punch.
And you were on the second floor.
Yeah, I was on the second floor.
Yeah, outside you could hear the punch. I've never heard a punch.
It was the shot heard around the world.
It was the most amazing fucking punch I have ever heard. It had texture to it. You could hear where the bone compressed into bone. It was fucking amazing.
It was a mega damage punch.
It was.
Now, what happened here was he came down the hallway. I remember later that he's flailing his arms. I brush his arms aside, and somewhere from deep space, lower ankle region, I came up, follow through, and smoked this guy in the fucking face. He then stopped from a full run and fell onto his knees.
At that point...
But he grabs onto me and kind of starts falling on top of me. Now, this is happening in seconds. I rip his shirt, and the weirdest thing about this is I have so much adrenaline in my system that it feels like ripping toilet paper. It just goes, shh, and the whole thing rips.
Somebody answer that?
I'll see who this is. You're on What the Hell?
Oh, I'm just looking for Derek.
Oh, you're looking for Derek.
Derek's not here.
Derek's not here. We have an Enki here, though. Just 1 second. He'll talk to you.
Okay.
So then this guy drags, we go to the go-to ground mode. Now,
I managed to get up behind this guy.
I gotta finish the ground fighting for just a second, then we'll go to that. Now, this is all in moments. The guy comes down, and because he's bigger than me and he's got inertia, I smack him. He's a little bit disoriented. He comes down. He's all doing the grabbing shit. I rip his shirt. At this point, if you look at your left hand, look at your ring finger on your left hand. I then stuff that finger up his nose to my first knuckle. I then take my little finger and stick it in his eye. I then fold his face around so that my thumb goes into his other eye, and I try to gouge his eyes out at this time.
Bowling with head.
And make no mistake, at this phase, I want to kill this fucker. I'm like, oh good, I can blind him for life. I then stand up, and I am wearing my garrison boots, which is big, fat, kick-ass
fuck off mosh pit killer boots.
I begin kicking him in the chest with these fucking boots on, which are leaving huge black monster fucking size 12 footprints on fucknut's chest, going thump, thump, saying something to the effect of, I'll fucking kill you, you cocksucker.
Yes.
Okay.
I managed to came up behind, managed to get an arm around this guy's throat, and I start to basically fall back with the idea of putting this guy underneath me, once again landing on this guy from space. Now my question...
At this stage...
Now, this stage, this is where I get confused, because you see, Coma Boy was coming up, and I managed to actually run ahead of Coma Boy, which is surprising considering my size and mass. Now, somehow...
It was a fight. You were in there.
Now, somehow, despite this, and despite the fact that we're in a hallway, which there was not enough room for me and this guy to be in, let alone Sean kicking the crap out of this guy's chest as I'm doing this, Coma Boy managed to crawl up over top of us and get on top of this guy and begin falling down, adding his mass to the two of ours.
He gained like 1,000 pounds in 10 seconds. Notice we have some structural flaws here. Legs folding. During this process, Mike takes his arm and does Coma Boy, takes his arm and does some sick bitch medical shit to it so that it's all rolled up in a little fucking sweat sock ball.
He twisted Dickhead's arm up into a back arm bar.
Yeah, it's fucking gross.
Holding it as he went over in a wrist lock. He then placed his knee onto the guy's shoulder and basically rode the guy down to the ground as I'm going with him wrapped around his neck.
And at this stage, my cousin, Corey Dowie, is pulling me away going, I should prevent Sean Kennedy from going to jail because he's married. And at this stage, I am still yelling the phrase which was heard around the world, relax or fucking die. Which wasn't actually meant to be a threat.
No, you screamed.
I think you should become an ambassador for Canada.
You screamed. You have two choices. You can fucking relax or you can fucking die.
And everybody stopped at that stage and they thought about it for a moment. And they went, yes, that's basically true.
Now, Jans has got this guy on an arm bar. He's trying to use Coma Boy has this guy on an arm bar. He's trying to use his other arm to lift him up. I'm wrapped around this guy's neck to the point that his face is turning purple. Sean is screaming at him. And then from Enki, we hear the immortal words.
Dude, nobody here wants to hurt you. Maybe we should all just go outside and be calm.
Now understand, this guy's all rolled up in a big fat fucking ball with 1,000 pounds of meat on him, and uber psycho geek, his head is on fire, and it still is, and he doesn't know why. And my head's spinning around going, your mother sucks cocks in hell. Okay, because I want to kill him.
So at this point... we managed to calm the guy down. He's like, okay.
At this stage, he decides that perhaps these people will kill me.
So he calms down. Okay, at this point, we begin to let him up by keeping hands on him, making sure he's not going to flip out again.
To show how hard that Coma Boy had him in an armbar, he had a chunk of this guy's flesh, back or something, a sizable hunk of meat caught and stuck in his watch.
No lie, it was over an inch long. It was a piece of meat. He took the skin.
He tore flesh off of this guy's back with his watch from an armbar. Wow, that's what I call an authoritative armbar. So that was essentially it. After that, next thing, I remembered all that shit about the fingers and the eyes and all that afterwards. Only thing I remember from the actual incident was guy coming down the hallway, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden I'm standing outside and people are patting me on the back, man, going, it's okay, man. It's okay.
Calm down.
Are you hurt? And I'm
it must
no,
be stated at that point that the Dark One opens up the bag and everybody starts depositing their weaponry into
it. Oh, yeah. Like, the Dark One looks like...
For the second time that day, in fact. I've gone around and taken the first load off everybody. Oh, that's it.
We're dropping knives, fucking batons, everything. Now, the beautiful part is when the cop shows up, Buddy's outside with a huge gaping fucking footprint on his chest, okay? And like a giant handprint on his face where his eyes are, okay? And the cop says, you, come with me, because I'm the first guy who walks outside. And he goes, was any punches or kicks thrown at any point? And I said, no, sir, no punches or kicks were thrown at any point. I've been trained in hostile takedowns, and this was only used by reasonable restraint. End quote. I walk away. Jans, Coma Boy, comes outside. He says, at any time were punches or kicks thrown? No punches or kicks were thrown at any time. Like, verbatim. Like, it was fucking programmed. We were all trained in high restraint, and it was all used with reasonable force. The term here is reasonable force.
At that point, the officer comes over and talks to me, and for some reason I felt this need to say, no, officer, no punches or kicks were thrown.
At any time.
I actually was trained as a security guard, worked in a hospital for 5 years.
So I know all about reasonable force.
And at no time was he abused in any way. Meanwhile, he's got a giant fucking handprint on his face and size 12 combat tread boots on his chest. In the morning, his bones are going to set like fucking concrete, man. Anyway, so that was the infamous story. After we eventually got her the fuck out of there, he decided it was going to be really, really cool to go talk to his kid with my wife in the van.
Oh my God, did I think we were going to have blood.
Okay, I go into the blatant, in the middle of the lawn, I get in the starting race vaulting position.
No. You go up to the cop, you go, that's my wife in the van. Just thought you should know. Then you go into the vaulting race position right in front of the cop, and the cop's like,
well,
okay.
I did. I said that to the cop. I said, that's my wife in that van. Do you understand? And he goes, yes, I understand. And I walk over and get in racing position while this guy is looking there. And I am completely tensed. I am in prime, pristine, veins coming out of my body, Ghost in the Shell, prime attack mode. I was watching fucking atoms in the air. I was reading this guy's aura. I was tracking chakra movements on this fucker, okay? At any time, if I thought there was a change in his aura which may designate some type of hostile intensity towards my wife, I'd be up to my elbows in that guy's lungs right away. And the cop would be like, I don't know what happened. He just came alive and took him.
Oh my God, he's wearing a meat vest!
I'd do that shit that Neo did in Matrix, only it wouldn't be a program. The guy would just explode into meaty chunks. It'd be like giblets. It'd be so fucking bad, the shit I would do to this guy.
Be a can of Libby's potted meat food product.
And the really bad part is, there's a cop standing 5 feet away from me watching me do this, and all my friends are going, Sean really doesn't care if this guy attacks his wife. He's going to kill him. And we're not going to try to stop Sean because, well, Sean will turn it on us. Because we become obstacle at that point, and obstacles are made to be negotiated. So I'm not getting in the way of that missile. Fuck that. That's armed. Forget it. No way. Luckily, shit for brains, because I know the cop wouldn't have shot him. The cop would have shot me. Okay, is what would have happened there. And he better gone for the head or the heart, or he would have just pissed me off. I'm like, bang, don't do that. Smack, 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 smack. Bang, don't do that. Smack, smack, smack. Okay, if you don't stop fucking shooting me after I'm done with this cocksucker, I'm going to beat you to death with his spine. So, needless to say, the cop was standing there. I don't think the cop really fucking cared, to be honest with you. He's like, wow, I'm going to watch this guy fucking rip out this guy's lungs. This is going to be fucking cool. I'm going to make sure no one has a video camera. Where was James? Anyway, so we then, after that, he decided to mellow the fuck out. We got everyone out of there. And we all went to Boston Pizza and laughed about it. And I had nightmares for 3 weeks later. Like, I was looking in the mirror and I would see myself with this shaved head wearing all these ripped clothes and this nasty person I used to be when I was in the Army going, let me in, let me in, let me in. And I'm like, no, you're from my past, David Cronenberg syndrome. And he's all, no, I'm here. I'm inside of you,
They say that Sean Kennedy, the fucking man, gets plastic surgery every 3 years.
It's so fucking bad. Wait, the gun is in your hand.
Have you heard about him? He's a great, great man.
Yeah. I hear he only sleeps 1 hour a night and talks to himself. That's great.
And this all started back in high school. This all started
the root of all problems.
Rule number 1.
Don't talk about
Rule number 1, do not talk about high school.
Do not talk about high school. Now, Bert, we must understand, Bert has known Sean Kennedy the fucking man since grade school. This is like since age 8. So when I actually do wind up going postal and killing a whole lot of people, he's the guy who's going to wind up writing the book. Okay, he's the guy who's going to be
I knew it right from the beginning.
Right from the talk show.
There was something wrong with Sean.
I always knew. I tried to stop him, but he said, no, I'm in league with Satan and must kill. So, go ahead.
All the D&D.
It's all the Dungeons and Dragons. Say it after me. Dungeons and Dragons. It's blame the D&D. So, go ahead, Bert.
Okay.
I have no idea what the story is.
This all started, Sean's first violent action was... kid constantly picking on Sean.
Okay, waving the mic around like the whole
Sorry.
purpose of it.
Okay, sorry.
Kind of like how sitting on the floor defeats the purpose of the mic.
Yes, that was Drexoll if you couldn't hear him. Anyways, back to school. Kid was picking on Sean constantly. Finally...
Gesture with your other hand.
Define
Finally.
define picking on.
And
So
what
we
was
understand what picking on is.
Okay, well,
And
it's
what
the
was
usual.
the culprit's name?
Actually, I don't recall
David
Gilbert.
Beaker was his name. Beaker.
No, it wasn't Beaker. This isn't the Beaker story. This was the lame ass kid that you got into the fight with that didn't happen. Well, anyways, I'll continue
Oh, I think
the
I know
story.
where this is going.
The kid was constantly picking on Sean, and he's one of the lowest of the pack of bullies. The one that's always like, I'll suck up to you by pushing on the even weaker kid.
So he's basically trying to work his way up through the bully ranks.
Yes.
Okay.
He's the kick.
Yeah.
He's the brown noser of the bully crowd. Anyways, he's constantly picking on Sean. Finally,
Jason Clay.
yeah. Finally, Sean
damage there.
has had enough of this. The guy goes, I'm going to fight you after school. I'll meet you at lunch behind the school. So, as it goes, a ring of kids around Sean and this guy. Sean is now vibrating. He's been working up to this for half the day.
Chanting for a little while there. Actually, it was all.
I mean, we fed him
Satan,
Jolt.
give me power to destroy my enemy.
I think it was
Just
it
once,
had some.
Lord, just dear once, I want a fireball right now. Just let me cast that spell.
I think part of it had to do with half the case of Jolt he drank during that time period.
Stimulants are there for your advantage. You should use them. Justify it all to yourself
Later. So, ring of kids around these two guys, Sean and Jay, and Jay's pushing Sean, and Sean's like, I'm about to snap. I'm either going to get the crap beaten out of me or I'm going to go to jail.
At a young age, I was concerned about jail.
And Jay goes like, I'm going to fight you, man. Pushes Sean, and that's when Sean snaps. Sean punches him. The kid goes, I don't want to fight anymore. Sean punches him again. The kid goes, no, this is over, man. Backs up. Sean punches him again and goes, hit me. Come on, hit me. Smack. Come on, hit me. Smack. This is a fight, motherfucker. Smack. I think it landed about 4 shots into the kid's head before the rest of us intervened and pulled Sean off of him.
Yeah.
Because obviously this was going to be a meat fest.
Why did you stop it?
Well, because
Sean wouldn't be sitting here right now.
I was thumping this guy in the fucking head really, really, really hard. There was a similar scrap that happened where Danny Sandy, who's a little guy, was getting fucking slapped around. Now, understand, I used to get slapped around fucking hard. Like, this kid used to sit on a bus and smack the shit out of me for half an hour every fucking day. David Beaker was his name. No word of a lie. This guy used to get on the bus. He was like 2 years older, way stronger, way bigger. No way you could fight back. So you're doing that whole, oh fuck, time for another beating. And you have this pride inside of you where you're not going to cry out for help because you have some vestige of manhood inside of you where you're feeling bad enough that you're getting fuck kicked anyway. So for about 6 months there, he would get on the bus, no shit, every day like clockwork, set your fucking watch to it. And that would be the worst part, is waiting for the bus. And I get on the bus and I go to the back and I try to sit down and look small. And he would come to the back of the bus, sit down beside me, and commence beating me. And he would be like, doing that cool belittling, I'm going to smack you and punch you shit. So you kind of funnel that out and you get small and you don't hear it anymore. And you just kind of feel, your body move and jerk and the bruising kind of stops. And this happens for like months and months and months and months. And this is how I learned how to take a hit. So there's benefits to this. I learned really, really hard how to take a hit. And other than that, there was no real sizable fucking differences in my personality, which seems to come out now when I see people who are bigger picking on little people because it makes me fucking insane. Because I can breathe fire then, and it's a righteous beating, because God wouldn't let me say this if he didn't want me to fucking skin this asshole on the spot and eat him. So that's how I feel.
I got a good bus story which sums that up.
Yeah, so what happens is I get a little bit bigger because my body goes, you're getting slapped around. Why don't we say put some growth hormone into this fucker and see what we can do? So I get a little bit bigger, and then, of course, there's another small kid named Danny Sanby. Now, Danny Sanby was a little guy. I mean, he was a small guy, didn't have the little man syndrome yet, was still trying to, just fucking, he's doing his thing, whatever. And there was a big kid smacking him around. This is smacking around in the cool areas. Shoving fucking geek. Being as I'm an authority in being brutalized, I recognized it immediately. And went up and wanted to confirm with Danny. I go, hey, man, what the fuck's the score here? Is this guy, like, picking on you or what? And Danny doesn't say anything. He just kind of looks away like, yeah, but I'm not going to say anything because that's shaming, and you have that pride thing happening, right? So you can pick it up. And I'm like, So I walk over to the guy, grab him, throw him up against the wall, and, basically let him know that I disapprove of his actions and he should not do this again or I will remove his liver. So he then goes, and runs away. That's it for him. I said, don't ever.
Anyways, whatever. Go on with the story. Ignore the IRC.
So
There is nobody left.
That's okay. They'll all join. So
They can still hear us? Okay.
Oh yeah. So they go and I like go back and I talk to Danny, and Danny isn't going to say thanks because he feels like he's the one who should be pushing the guys back, not me. So I go back and I say, what a fucking asshole, and I get him back up so he's okay. And all of a sudden I turn around, there's a guy there. Now this was not the guy I fucking told to fuck off. There's some guy there, and he goes, hey motherfucker, and I'm like, hey what? And he goes, what the fuck is your problem? And I'm like, well actually I have a guy in my face right now who's yelling at me and I have no idea why. That's my problem. What's yours? And he goes, oh, I fucking kicked your ass. And I said, why? He said, you're fucking with my friends. Fucking with my friends? I got a buddy here who's getting the shit slapped out of him because he's tiny, and you're saying I'm fucking with your friends? No. It doesn't work like that. Let's fucking go. I don't even know you. Let's fucking go. I don't know you. I have no reason to fight you. Let's fucking go. Fine, fair ball. Danny, hold my glasses. We walk around the side of the building. Now, I'm a little freaked out at this stage. This is when Sean doesn't fight. Understand, I'm like 13, 14 years old here. Okay, I'm totally freaking out. I've got that big shake thing happening, and I know I can feel it coming. I'm going to start to cry because I can feel that shit, that gonna cry eye thing happening. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, god damn it. No, I don't want to cry because there's a big crowd of kids, and they're all going to see me fucking cry. This sucks ass. Fuck. And the guys, I'm saying, I got my hands up, and he goes, bang, and he nails me in the face really hard. What? Not really that hard because I get fuck kicked every 6 months, right? So it was a pretty good punch, but, I rolled it, maybe gave it a 4. And he goes, smack! And I'm like, and I'm sort of sitting there trying to go, and he goes, smack! And I can feel the tears coming now. I don't feel his punches, but I feel the tears coming because, I've been fuck kicked for 6 months. And he goes, winds up in third shot, smack! Right in the fucking face. Now, on that third punch, a funny thing happened. Funny thing happened. There's this ding. You know that ding on the Robotech cartoons where the ding comes down along the neck and goes, ding? That ding happened. And I was so clear. It was like,
reset.
I can see everything around me.
I've been in, when I'm in fights, that's exactly what happens. Everything becomes so clear.
And I wasn't going to cry anymore. I was just, my eyes opened really, really wide. And I looked at him, dead in the eyes. And I looked at him and I said, and now I'm going to kill you. Not in a threat, as a courtesy, really.
You let him know.
Because I'm going to let you know to talk to your gods. And let them know that you're coming home. Now. He then looks at me after giving me 3 of his hardest punches in the face, and now I've said, and now I will kill you. And he feels, for the first time, fear. And he's like, I don't want to fight anymore. I've heard this song before.
Too late! 5 minutes for instigating.
You're 3 punches in. A little late now. In for penny, in for pound, fucker.
And it's all
So I
your
thumped
weight.
him in the face a bunch of times. Whack, 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 whack. He's like, I really don't want to fight anymore. And he's putting his hands up, which I'm using to gauge the range between his hands to enter into his face. And I'm like, full on, sidestep, no quarter
stepping
given.
into him.
Yeah, totally. Like, smack! And this guy's head's reeling back. And I'm like, oh, you can't take a punch. You should try talking to David. He'll beat the fuck out of you for 6 months, and you can come back and talk to me. At this stage, he's like, I don't want to fight anymore. And then, of course, I come down out of that zone, which is really shitty because I'd like to stay there. But I come down out of the zone, and then
It's
the
a
tears
cool
hit.
place
I'm like,
to be.
you fucker. And I'm like, got tears running down my face. And everyone's wondering why the fuck I got tears running down my face because I'm like, you asshole. And I'm kicking the shit out of this guy. And they're like, why is Sean crying? He's beating the fuck out of this guy. I don't know why he's crying. It's okay. We'll just chalk it up to insanity. He plays a lot of D&D. I don't know. Maybe
It's something like that, yeah.
He listens to Ozzy Osbourne. I have no idea what's exactly going on here. So that was, understandably though, do not even remotely think that I am a badass because I have lost more fights than I have won by far. Okay, there's absolutely no limit to the fights I have lost because I have had the living fuck beat out of me a whole lot, which has its merits. There are merits to having the living fuck kicked out of you.
There is confidence.
There is confidence in that. Speaking of having the living fuck kicked out of you, we should move on to the next segment of the evening about someone who kicks the living fuck out of us every single day. Yes, every day, the BC provincial government kicks the living fuck out of us. And so, Bert has an interesting article, which he is going to read, about this fucking thing.
Actually, it's it's just a statement on our government in BC. It goes like this. I got it over the email, so it's one of those things that get passed around to absolutely everybody. And there's a page and a half of crap at the top of it. But anyways, here it goes. The Ant and the Grasshopper, the classical version. The ant works hard in the withering heat all summer long, building his house and laying in supplies for the winter. The grasshopper thinks he's a fool and laughs and dances and plays the summer away. Come winter, the ant is warm and well fed. The grasshopper has no food or shelter, so he dies. The British Columbia version. The ant works hard in the withering heat all summer long, building his house and laying up supplies for the winter. The grasshopper thinks he's a fool and laughs and dances and plays the summer away. Come winter, the shivering grasshopper calls a press conference and demands to know why. Next page. The ant should be allowed to be warm and well-fed, while others are so cold and starving. BCTV, CBC, The Sun, and The Province all show up to provide pictures of the starving grasshopper next to the video of the ant in his comfortable home with a table filled with food. The lower mainland is stunned by the sharp contrast. How can it be that in a province of such wealth, this poor grasshopper is allowed to suffer so? Then a representative of PAGB, Provincial Association for the Advancement of Green Bugs, shows up on a bill good and charges the ant with green bias, and makes the case that the grasshopper is the victim of 30 million years of greenism. Kermit the Frog appears on Oprah with the grasshopper, and everybody cries when he sings, "It's Not Easy Being Green." David Suzuki and Adrian Clarkson make a special guest appearance on the evening news to say that they will do everything they can for the grasshopper, who has been denied the prosperity he deserves by those who benefit unfairly during the social credit summers, or as David calls it, the temperature of the 80s. Mo Sahoda exclaims in an interview that the ant has gotten rich on the back of the grasshopper, and calls for an immediate tax hike on the ant to make him pay for his fair share. Finally, the legislature, led by none other than Airdra Walsh, drafts the Economic Equity and Anti-Greenism Act, retroactive to the beginning of summer. The ant is fined for failing to hire a proportionate number of green bugs, and having nothing left to pay his retroactive taxes, his home is confiscated by the government. Mo gets his old law firm to represent the grasshopper in a defamation of suit against the ant. The case is tried before a panel of provincial judges that Glenn Clark appointed from a list of single-parent welfare moms who can only hear cases on Thursday between 1:30 and 3 p.m. when there are no talk shows scheduled. The ant loses the case. The story ends as we see the grasshopper finishing up the last bits of the ant's food, waiting for the government to send him more food, while the government house he is in, which just happens to be the ant's old house, crumbles around him since he doesn't know how to maintain it. The ant has disappeared in the snow. And on TV, which the grasshopper bought by selling most of the ant's food, they are showing Dan Miller standing in Victoria before a wildly applauding group of grasshoppers, announcing that a new era of fairness has dawned upon British Columbia. A very apt statement of our government.
So what does this all mean?
Don't move to BC or kill politicians.
Or grasshoppers.
Hey, a little bit of both makes everybody happy.
Yeah, that's pretty much the truth of the matter. So, moving right along, that was our political statement. What do you guys think of What the Fuck? How's it going? Actually, well, no one's in the IRC, so hopefully, just shout it out. We'll hear it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so
I think I heard a yawp in there somewhere.
We're gonna move right along, and we're gonna go into, in fact, gross hospital stories. Yes, it's time for Uncle Dak to fucking start it up.
Now, once again, it's time for gross hospital stories.
Hello, boys and girls. It's your old Uncle Dak once again giving you another disgusting, gross hospital story. I'm going to go back into one of the old files, and I'm going to give you one of the ones I told you a long time ago, because I'll be honest, I didn't expect this show to last this fucking long, and I only have so many things that I found gross. I mean, there's shit that basically I could tell you that's not gross, but it's not that good a story. So I'm going to go back to one of the old ones. This one actually didn't really happen to me. This happened to a friend of mine. He basically delivers garbage. He takes out garbage for a living. And he used to bring...
It's this one.
He used to bring his dog along with him. Now, his dog would basically go everywhere with him.
This is Dylan.
and whenever he would stop off at the dump, he would basically let the dog out, and the dog would run around. Now, he used to drop off hospital waste, to pick up the large dumpsters full of, the big Smith Rights full of a hospital biological waste that... some of this stuff is supposed to be actually dealt with in a different way, so I have no idea how the hell it was taken to our local dump, but that just shows you once again what wonderful practices we have here in BC. So,
pour it down the drain.
Yep. So he goes there, lets the dog out. The dog comes back, and the dog has got this white shit all over his muzzle, and he's like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck have you been into? But so anyway, he basically takes the dog home, cleans him off. Dog is basically like, just licking his face like normal. Doesn't think anything of it. So he goes to the dump again, and the dog comes back with the same kind of white shit on his face, and he's wondering, what the fuck is the dog getting into? I mean, the first time he thought it was like mayonnaise or something like that. So cleans the dog off, and basically sends the basically the next time he figures when he goes there, he's going to get out. He's going to follow the dog. He wants to find out what the fuck is the dog getting into. So he basically gets down there. The dog gets out of the car like a fucking beeline. The dog is basically going someplace. The dog is like wagging his tail the minute they pull up into the dump because he knows he's going to get into something good.
The dog's hooked on crack. He's got the monkey on his back. He's found the shit. He's mainlining.
So the dog goes tearing off, and he basically follows the dog. He's like wondering, what the fuck? And he comes around the corner, and he finds it's one of the dumps for basically the hospital waste. And the dog is getting into the bags of liposuction material.
Okay, that is Fight Club bad.
It's human fat that they have sucked. They have sucked out of some fat ass, and I mean literally sucked out of some fat ass. And his dog is basically lapping this shit up like it's fucking just, it's gummy bears. He loves this shit.
The dog has now had a taste of human flesh and biomatter. It can never go back to being the same. Shoot the dog. And this is coming from the chicken, the resident ALF member and extremist. Shoot the fucking dog. Cerebus, it's evil. Make it go away.
Now the worst part is, like, after he cleans the dog off, and he doesn't clean the dog off by hand this time, he takes his hose to clean the dog off.
You get to drink from the fire hose.
and the thing
dog
is,
gets exposed to the pressure washer.
He's sitting there, and the dog, his wife comes home, and the dog starts licking his wife's face. And he decides, I don't think I'm going to tell her.
At that point, she's had a taste of human biomatter and flesh. She'll never go back to being the same. Kill her.
We must destroy her. We must destroy the garbage truck because that garbage truck has had a taste of human flesh and biomatter and will never be the same. We must shoot the fucking garbage truck. Just to make a point.
But that's my gross hospital story for the week. Yes, I've told that one before. However, I am really, really happy. I told that one the first time almost a year ago. I had gone camping with a couple of friends. You all know Andrew?
Oh, yes.
Big Andrew.
Five head.
Andrew is forehead.
Big forehead
Five
Andrew.
Head.
Five head.
Because his forehead's not
more
big
than
enough.
just a forehead.
It's a five head. I had Andrew gagging, rushing away from the campfire when I told that story, running into the bush so he could upchuck his smokies.
Being as we have Movie Man in the house tonight, we actually get a live and in-depth version of Movie Man. However, before we hand it over to Movie Man, I'm going to do my own quick movie review of a film I just saw the other night, which I must say, I have a favorite martial arts actor at this time. Is that what you're going to review?
Because I haven't seen anything.
Have you? Okay, well, I'll let Movie Man do it, and then I'll add on to it.
And I can give an ad-lib movie review, too.
Oh, can you?
Yes.
Actually, we'll let Ryan do his first, because I got to find his intro. So,
Okay.
Chicken, take over.
Friday night, after much running around the greater Vancouver, Richmond area, we decided to hook up with a buddy of ours down at Imperial Hobbies. This is me and, I don't know what we can call him. White Knight? The Paladin? Great Northern Boy? No, that's mean. Anyways, my buddy Angus. Anyways, we hook up with this buddy of ours, and we sort of decide that we're going to go out and see a movie. And the guys are like, hey, I know what's playing. What, guys? Pitch Black. Pitch Black, ...
I almost went to go see this myself.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute. It's that movie where everybody crashes on planet, things get really shitty, and they get eaten by aliens. Yeah, that's the one. Want to go see it? Not really, but okay, because you're paying, because I'm a broke bitch, because I spent $250 on a tattoo. So anyways, here we are sitting in the theater. I'm drinking my fucking mocha smoothie that I paid like $10 for at like, you know, the little smoothie place that sells like Star Trek or Starbucks coffee. Star Trek, Starbucks, it's all fucking evil anyways. So anyways, yeah, the movie starts, and oh my god, I didn't pay for the movie. I wanted our money back. I wanted the time back from my life. It sucked ass. Characters sucked ass. Settings sucked ass. Story could have done something with it. Effects sucked ass. Aliens sucked ass. You see the point. The one character you can sort of maybe even connect with was the bad guy, who spoke in this monosyllabic, like, yeah, I'm a really cool guy, hard ass, killed everyone from the Barrios kind of look. Sucked ass. Like, the one-liners and everything. Moral of the story is, the movie sucked ass. Don't see Pitch Black. Save your money. Go see something else cooler. Or go and rent. Da-da-da.
Da-da-da. Moving right along, we're going to go to live. On location, we have...
Okay, guys, my video review, it's not actually a movie review, it's a video review.
Videos, movies.
Videos, movies, because I haven't actually gone to the theater in weeks. This one is going to be for all of the martial arts fans out there.
That's us!
Jet Li has a new movie. Actually, Jet Li is doing pretty much the same thing that Jackie Chan did a little while ago, where...
Only better and faster.
He hasn't actually made an original movie in quite a while. All of the movies that are coming out with Jet Li right now are re-releases of movies that he made years ago in... Exactly.
Yeah, but who gives a fuck? I mean, really, we just want to see a fight. Fuck plot, enter scrap, and roll credits, you know, fight, and movie. There you go.
The movie is Fist of Legend. Almost forgot the name of the movie. The movie is called Fist of Legend. It's very, very reminiscent of an old Bruce Lee movie. Actually, we were thinking that it was originally a remake of The Chinese Connection. Jet Li is got to be one of the fastest guys I've ever seen.
The guy is fucking sick.
Amazing. He's got the 6-finger push-ups down. He's got the 1-arm chin-ups. He is amazingly quick.
He is airborne. There are people who can jump up into the air and do 50 million things before they land on the ground. He is one of these people. He is so fucking fly. Like, you'll watch a Bruce Lee film, and you'll see that Bruce Lee threw a kick, and you can tell that he threw a kick, and that's how he threw the kick. But, like, Jet Li will do shit, and you're like, wow, he kicked that guy somehow, and I don't know if you can twist it. How did he twist his body like that? That's really fucking amazing. Have you seen this thing, Drex? Oh, my God. I have it in my house right now. You should really watch it. It's Movie Man's copy. But it's, like, fucking unreal. And I'm like, it was so brutal by the end of it. I won't give away anything, but by the end of it, I was like, if this guy was on my team, I'd wait till the fight was over and I'd shoot him because he's a scary motherfucker. Like, he's just obscene.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give this at least an 8, just for the action sequences alone. The story, well, it's any typical Golden Harvest film.
Woohoo! Golden Harvest!
Golden Harvest!
Okay, that's
no,
just
you
wrong.
went to the Golden Arches.
Golden Arches.
And that's pretty much it for my video review. Fist of Legend, Jet Li, check it out.
Another really awesome movie, if you guys haven't seen it. I imagine probably everybody in the fucking world has seen this, but holy shit, does Iron Giant ever kick ass?
Yes. That
movie
was a
fucking
great
slays
fucking film.
Ass. It's the first animated film I've seen in a long time that was original. It was creative. It was
not musical.
It was not musical. Fuck yeah!
Actually, I just
sucks ass.
I just forced a friend of mine to basically watch Tarzan, which was the last Disney one that they did.
Haven't seen
and what they did in that film was they didn't have them singing a bunch of fucking songs. There were like 2 minor numbers that you can almost call musical. One of them was the mother singing a lullaby to the kid. The other one was kind of a musical number for the kids. I got to throw something in. All the rest of it was just Phil Collins doing background songs. I so fucking preferred that to like the last
The
two.
breaking into song.
Yeah, song from
Where that comes from, you got to understand that Disney actually did all this shit back when musicals
were big. They were the thing.
You know, musicals. Yeah, was
The
the
30s is
Fred
when they
Astaire.
started, and
I mean, Fred Astaire was cool. Ginger Rogers kicks Fred Astaire's ass, but I mean, you know, Fred Astaire was cool, and so Singing in the Rain, you know, all this kind of shit was all the rage, and people had a boner for it. That is the standard that was set. That was the precedent that was set. So now they try to carry it on.
I was talking with Projectile Vomit Man. We were talking about this, and one of the things we were saying about some of the original Disney films, especially things like Bambi, where they had like a real fucking story, and they dealt with shit that was. Do you think these fucking lame asses at Disney would have the balls today to make a movie where Bambi's mother gets shot? Do you honestly think they would do it? I don't.
No.
I think they're such cowardly little fucking politically PC correct dickheads that they would not have the fucking balls to basically shoot Bambi's mother if they put it out anymore.
You don't got the balls to shoot Bambi's mother, son.
That's because Michael Eisner's a fuck nut.
Yes, yeah, Michael Eisner. If once again, I'd like to offer a bounty of $50 million rant radio dollars for the head of Michael Eisner.
Yes, it's true. Who's
Yes.
Michael Eisner, and why do we hate him?
He's the guy that started the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. He's the guy that bought the rights from our Canadian government for the RCMP.
Yes, the Mounties belonged to Disney for 3 fucking years, if you can believe this.
What?
Yes, all the images, any image of a Mountie.
That's because as Canadians, we don't protect the copyrights to our own national imagery.
They used.
That's how copyright conscious Canadians are.
Yeah, they basically the fucking Disney Corp bought the right to. Yeah, but basically they challenged them, and I know they do belong back to the Mounties now. The Mounties now actually own their own image.
Good.
Well, actually, interesting story. The Mounties. A lot of people might wonder where the Mounties actually come from. The Mounties uniform is not a police uniform. It's actually an artillery uniform.
Yep, it's a military uniform.
Well, it's an artillery uniform specifically because back in the day, what happened was the Mounties. There was no law here, and so the artillery was one of the first people to be stationed here. Because, well, at that time, you know, cannons kicked fucking ass, so you needed artillerymen. So they needed people to appoint for law. So they dress up in their DEUs, which is a dress entertainment uniform, or DEU, dress environment uniform. Anyway, whatever the fuck it is. So
damn entertaining uniforms.
And they have scarlet tops, and that's why on the old RCMP
they have a box hat, don't they?
No.
But,
they have bomblets on their collars.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
They have artillery bomblets on their collar dogs, and that's because it is in fact, and that's why they all have lanyards on them too. Is because they're artillery. They are an artillery-based unit. That is
back
where
when
their
they were
origin comes
called
from.
the Northwest Mounted Police.
That's right.
Before they became the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
And at that time, they were fucking psychos. I mean, understand, at that time, you know, Canada was this big, wild, untamed psycho pit that, well, most Americans think it is now anyway. And it's...
Hell, to this day, there's still technically a paramilitary organization, not a police organization.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you go see the cop school in Regina, it's not run like a cop school. They shut it down, but it's run like a fucking boot camp. Like, you get there, they shit on you, they beat you up, they do all sorts of crazy shit. And that's why the RCMP, if you are a Mountie, and you can basically pick your force anywhere in the world after that, because you're one of the best trained cops in the world.
Yep. Technically, they're listed as special police. It wasn't until 20-odd years ago that Canada finally had its own secret, the equivalent of our own secret service, which became CSIS, Canadian Intelligence
Service.
Yeah.
Canadian Special Intelligence Service. What do we know about the Canadian Special Intelligence Service?
Security Intelligence Service?
Security.
Thank
What do we
you,
know about
Projectile
them?
Vomit Man.
It's
the Canadian version of the FBI.
Of the SIS in Britain, which is just CSIS without the C.
They're phenomenal at forensics.
Are they?
We're like leading edge in the world. That's
Oh,
why.
really?
That's why a bunch of CSIS and actually RCMP guys are over places in like Bosnia and Rwanda and Kosovo,
Looking
and
into
down
war
in
crimes.
Mexico, where those basically narco guerrillas killed like hundreds of people because they're putting together all these basically human genocide and war crimes cases based off of Canadian expertise.
They recruit the members. You don't go talk to them. they come talk to you.
Yeah.
It also should be mentioned, however, CSIS back in the early 80s, the way that we discovered that this group had been put together, it was discovered that CSIS was actually bugging the homes of various Canadians.
Oh, big fucking shot.
I
What,
know-
the government's spying on me?
I know, but you don't understand. In Canada, when this first came out, this was more than a little bit of a surprise because, hell, we didn't even know we had the technology to do this.
Yeah, that's pretty much true.
But in
Oh, you
Canada,
sneaky
it's
fucking Canadians.
In Canada, it's not as much of a problem as it is in some other countries because technically we don't actually have rights up here.
Yes, that is true. The Charter of Rights is just that. It is a charter. It is not a bill. It is not a law. It is an agreement.
Yes,
no, I understand this. No, it is.
No, it is a law. It is
an
in our
act, and
Constitution.
it is a-
It's all there, notwithstanding the government's ability to sidestep it whenever the fuck they feel.
Oh, yeah,
like.
Yes.
it's never enforced.
Yeah, no, no,
But it is there.
It is there, but no, there's a thing. There's an addendum that was added to it called the notwithstanding clause. That means that any time the Canadian government so feels, all of the bills, all of the rights that are basically listed under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms in Canada can be amended and suspended from basically for an individual.
The Drexoll
It's a neat way of retroactively justifying things like during the FLQ crisis back in the early 70s, sending the troops into Quebec and you're basically locking down the province like a police state.
It turned into martial law in the province of Quebec. For anyone who doesn't remember, the FLQ was a terrorist organization that basically was dedicated towards fighting for the independence of Quebec back in, what was it, 69, I think is when they... I know it was the 70s, but wasn't it 69 they first showed up on the scene?
Whatever. Not
Yeah.
important. They fought and they got their asses squashed.
Actually, not really. They didn't catch most of the people that dropped the bombs. Most of them got away and were never found.
Oh, well.
Most of them got away, in quotation marks, and were never found.
Yeah, like, I'm really sure. Well,
except for the ones that surfaced again in Quebec politics and now hold positions of power.
Yes, it is actually, there is a couple of members that are in the Bloc Québécois, which are actually ex-members of the FLQ, a terrorist organization. Only in Canada, you say.
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada.
With their
The only
beady
other
little
place-
eyes and
the
their
only other
flappy
place
little
in the world
heads.
Shit happens that easily is like, so Ireland maybe.
yeah, I've got a problem there because I'm a Canadian of Irish descent. So we.
I am. All I have to say is Britain. Boom. That's my whole comment on that whole problem.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, your ancestors suck.
And why do we put up with you? Why are you the most abused person in the group? Think it through, Kurt.
You've got.
That's true. There is Eastman, yes, but that's just because he smells
Just so
bad.
we understand, we should tell everyone who, in fact, Eastman is.
Splorgoth.
Sluggy.
He has been on the show once.
Oh, was he?
Yes, he was the one that we all called the Plague Bringer. He wiped out 2/3 of the group with an illness.
Did how many thousands of dollars damage in calculated damage and lost wages?
In lost wages, no shit, we worked this out. This guy did over $10,000 worth of damages to basically...
Coma Boy would be certified as an ambulance
driver if it was not...
If it was not for Splorgoth the Plague Bringer.
Seriously.
He was
Seriously.
one exam short of having his full certification.
So he was home here.
He passed out from the fucking flu, from catching it from fucking
In the middle of the exam, they had to take him to fucking hospital.
Holy shit.
This fucking flu killed every person who caught it. I'm exaggerating with that part, but I'm serious. Everybody who caught it was so sick that you couldn't fucking get out of bed.
I escaped it.
Ryan was the only person that was coming in and out of my home on a regular basis who did not get deathly fucking ill.
Praise garlic.
Garlic is holy. Holy shit. So that sucks pretty hard ass right across the board.
Actually, I think it was more than that because how much did King lose for not being able to trade for that week?
Well, that's perspective.
Yeah, but who cares?
Yeah, that's true. It's King.
Yeah.
Remember,
I'm sure
and
he would've made his
remember for
million
any
that
of our
week.
listeners, if you ever get into any type of legal problems, the first words out of your mouth should be, "I want my lawyer." The second word should be, King is the ringleader.
That's right. So we're gonna move into some tunes now. I don't know. We're probably gonna do.
We're going to do a rant? We're not going to do any rants. We've got no rants cut down for the...
I have no rants prepared. I'm sorry.
That's
Totally
okay.
fucking suck. Actually, I'll rant a little bit. I'll do a live rant so that some people can understand. I'll explain why no rants are done. Because one, my fucking buddy Sumerian is off in the Bahamas, which should be back sometime tonight. But what happened here is that I am now currently, I got thrown in a position where I'm a sysadmin. And I got dropped into a computer network. This is for all the tech heads out there. A computer network that used to be a Novell network and then suddenly got converted into a Microsoft network. But when Sumerian last installed, he didn't wipe and F-disk all the hard drives, so there's Novell residual left over on the fucking computers. And when I try to install new hardware or new fucking LAN cards, it's asking me for Novell driver disks and all sorts of groovy shit, which means that I basically have to almost rebuild the entire fucking system from scratch from a total reinstall.
And this is easy, right?
Not exactly, no, because they're all older computers which don't accept drivers, and things start to go fucky, and the place that is running this is right next door to a concrete testing plant, and the concrete testing plant has power fucking surges, and none of their shit's on surge suppressors, or actually the computers are, but the hub isn't. So the hub got a major power surge, fucked up a bunch of network cards, and I'm the guy who gets dropped, never having seen a network before, into this meat grinder. Okay? Guys,
Welcome to technical hell.
it was fucking bad. Now, the place is owned by Italian fucking construction contractors. Okay, so, I mean, this is 2 steps up from Trailer Park, man. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. So, I'm in there working like a crazy motherfucker between a fax machine, a laser copier, and a speakerphone that's set to dial. So, every 10 minutes I hear, and blaring at the top of, you know, the massive, like, 11 on the volume scale. And I have to sit there and do this. This is absolutely fucking gross, and I'm doing this for 3 days.
You make work or you sleep with the fishes.
Yeah, and this is basically the way this is going to go. Now, no fucking stress here, because I'm still trying to prove myself in my new fucking job, because if this thing doesn't work, I'm up the fucking shit creek without a paddle. No fucking stress, okay? So this is why I have no fucking rants done, is because, well, I'm an undereducated person who doesn't want to be working 3 jobs so I can support my fucking wife, and it sucks ass. I mean, really, nobody, like, if you're going to own computers, for God's sakes, you're standing on the mic cord, if you're going to own computers, like, fucking learn about them. It's not hard. Just have one guy, you know, be receptive and not always try to pass the buck off. I mean, why are people so intensely fucking serious on going, what are we talking about? Don't worry about it. We're broadcasting. Relax. Like, why are people so fucking intensely set on just not learning new things, like the whole FUD thing, fear, uncertainty, and doubt? I don't know why this is. They just expect fucking consultants to walk in there, magically wave their hands, and make it happen. They think it's like a fucking car. Well, it was working yesterday. Well, it's not fucking working now. Why not? I don't know. I've been here 5 fucking minutes. Why don't you tell me why it's not working? I mean, these people are thicker than whale shit in the wintertime, man. These guys are fucking brutal. And there's nothing that can be done for them. They're the weakest, most assholes in the world. But you have to be nice.
It's a common attitude. Any technology average people don't understand is pure fucking magic.
No,
It's
absolutely.
easier. Besides,
And I think Drexoll is leaving. All right.
Later,
Bye,
Drex.
Drexoll. Take care, buddy.
Send me those pics.
So,
is anyone actually still out there? Because I've seen no fucking movement.
oh,
on
they
the,
can hear us,
they
but
can-
no, there's an. Oh, Kimberly's listening. Okay, right on. Hello, bitch. No, she likes being called bitch. It's okay. I can say, hello, Kimberly, you fucking bitch. Kimberly, you're a bitch. Kimberly, bitch, 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 bitch. It's okay, because 1, Drexoll's gone, and 2, that's, yeah, and she likes it. She likes being called a bitch.
Just a comment about the network stuff. Have you ever listened to somebody selling a network?
Oh, they're magical. Salesmen don't give a fuck. It's just like, oh yeah, we can do that. We can do everything. You don't need gateways. No.
You won't need any employees after this.
You won't have to fucking run new cord. No, we'll run it through the fucking air. You just think happy thoughts and your fucking email will work. SMTP, you
Click
fuck.
your shoes 3 times.
Seriously. Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's no place like email. There's no place like email.
Yeah. Hey, acronym boy, why don't you start learning about what the fuck you're selling? Ugh! You know, they have these guys who sit there and try to fucking go and
Whoa.
sell this shit, but they don't understand a fucking thing, and it just makes me crazy. Like, I really want to smack the shit out of these people. But you can't. You can't because you have to service them. They're your customer.
What was it that Gentle G said a few weeks ago? I believe he put it best when he said, no.
That's right.
Just no.
But you can't do that because you lose them as a client.
But you're taking them for a lot of money.
This is true. This is true. We bill out at $55 an hour for some guy who's never actually had any formal experience or training.
Isn't this a beautiful country?
Circle.
But
who knows someone.
yeah, a guy. But no. But actually, that's fair because the general going rate is $90 to $120 an hour for an open consultant. So they're getting a fucking bargain. They're getting their fucking money's worth. Is what they're getting. Half the price, half the qualifications. It's a Mexican fucking doctor scenario.
You get
You
what
can
you
pay
pay
$150 and have university graduates, or you can pay $55 and have Sean. Hey, how's it
Yeah, I
going?
ordered away from my diploma, so.
The appendix out. Stop fucking crying. The infection will go down.
Everybody.
It's Dr. Nick.
It's so brutal. Like, I try to fake it. I really do. I try to fake it like I know. Like
Hey, they're all back.
I'm trying so fucking hard to, like, make it seem like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I really don't. It's not that I'm stupid. Like, I've learned about DNS servers. I learned about DNS servers in half an hour. Okay? I went from, I don't understand what DNS is, to, oh my god, this is how DNS works. This is how they're fucking laid out, the whole 9 yards. I learned this in like half an hour. I don't have time to fucking learn. It's just like, here, shovel this into your head. I know Kung Fu. It's like, holy cow. And you have to deal with this shit. You have to accept it. You have to fucking know this. And you have to run it out. And if you don't do it, well, naturally you feel like a failure, and you hear your dad's voice in your head again, and he's like, I told you you'd be a failure, you suck, you're going to be homeless, you're fucking me, fuck you, Dad. And then everyone looks in the office and wonder why you scream, fuck you, Dad, at the top of your lungs while you're working on a computer.
I'm waiting for the rant the week after Sean Kay learns the joys of Unix.
Unix, I don't do Unix.
You don't want to.
No,
Sean should. Sorry, I hate to say this, but shouldn't that line
Unix
be?
gives me a
you don't do
splitting fucking
Windows?
headache.
I don't. No, I don't do Windows. I would like to learn this, but you must understand. I mean, everyone who's out there who's ever learned computer shit, people who call down people who know less than them on computers are fucking idiots. Okay, anyone who says, "Oh, you don't know shit," well, that's fine. Okay, if these people don't know shit and they don't want to learn it, as I was just doing. But if you don't know shit and you're trying to learn it and people call you down, well, you're a fucking goof, okay? That's just ignorant. Because everybody was there. I'm sorry. No one was born with the Mother Superior Dune knowledge of fucking computers, okay? It doesn't happen.
I know one guy, and you do too.
No, he wasn't born with it. He acquired a keyboard shortly after exiting the womb.
Okay. Technically,
Okay.
yes.
He was on the mailing list before he exited the womb.
Replaced his umbilical cord with an I/O port.
Yeah, this is quite seriously. This is our man Cybertech, if he happens to be listening tonight, which I doubt he is.
or Firewire?
He's actually working.
I
on
made the closest joke that this fucking Luddite you see before you could do on computer lingo.
You're very cool. I hereby W cool. Okay, so it's like
Captain of Team Cool Guy.
Team Cool Guy, Captain. It's like the guy fucking speaks binary. He's crazy. But in any case, I am not at that level. I'm not even close to that level. I'm not the least net experienced and computer oriented in the room, but I got an IT job and I got to fucking perform. And my boss is scared that I'll leave because, I mean, seriously, I lose sleep over this shit because the next day you've got to go back and you've got to have the solutions. And I don't have the solutions. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I have no fucking plan. And you have to go back in there and pull it off. So
you're having that neat experience of actually getting something to work and going, cool.
It
actually worked.
It was a high. I did that. I diagnosed.
I dodged a bullet another day.
That's exactly what it is. I actually went in there when their network went down hard because of the cabling issue. I diagnosed and put that network up cold, never having touched a network before in 10 hours, which is stellar. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, people say, "Well, that's not that great. I could have done it in 20 minutes." Yeah, sure. If you know what the fuck's wrong. You drop into a network you've never even fucking seen before. It's all fucked up, eh? You guys are assholes. And I have to fucking fix this? Okay, first of all, I must quell the inertial instinct to kill you. Must not kill person. Hello. Must not kill person. How are you today? Must not kill fucking guy. Must not kill. My fucking network's down. Must not kill network. I have to go to the bathroom. Must not kill.
Yes, got it.
I'm going back to the bathroom. Must not kill.
Find within yourself your cave?
Fill up.
What is your animal?
Slide. And I sit there and I must not kill. And I fill up, the drinking glass in the bathroom and pour it into the toilet really slowly, so it sounds like I'm taking a really long piss. Must not kill.
Just keep.
Fucking contact
Hey,
you,
man,
cocksucker.
it could be worse. It could be contractors. Keep telling yourself that they're not contractors. They're not contractors.
They are contractors. They're construction contractors. It's a construction contractor firm. Italian construction contractors.
What's the name of this
group? It is worse.
What is the name of this group?
I can't say that. Fuck it. They're Brandon Construction.
Brandon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, locally, I don't know if anyone really cares, but there's a company called Marcon. I recently found out that Marcon is related to the Filipponi family. The Filipponi family is our local version of the mob.
But in any case...
Okay, I know, the guy who owns and operates Marcon Construction is a family friend of mine. My grandfather got him into business. No, he's not.
This is basically what I was talking with a couple of people. Apparently, Marcon is somehow connected with the Filipponis.
Okay. Be that as it may. Doesn't really matter. Isn't related. I'm not working for Marcon. Who gives a fuck? So, the point of the matter is... Debate. Are they? Are they not?
He's wrong.
So, in any case... just let it... and the subtle stabs begin. So I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys are all fucking listening now, and you've heard my little rant about what's happening. What do you think? Should I stick this thing out or what? Give me confidence. Fuck that. Give me a break. I don't really care. I'm gonna keep doing it because they're paying me good money. What the fuck? It's $14 an hour straight cash, and when I'm out in the field, it's $22 an hour. So who really cares? But I mean,
Trust me, I have been trying to find a job for the last good 8 months.
Oh, employment sucks, man. I went from 0 to hero in 2 days because a buddy of mine Sim handed me this job. Here you go, gold platter.
I cannot fucking believe. Before this, I had 4 different fucking companies. About 2 years ago, I had 4 different companies who basically wanted to fucking hire me. I went with one. I made the wrong fucking decision. Now, I've spent the last 8 months trying to find a fucking job, and I'll tell you, there is fucking nothing out there.
Oh, absolutely. My girlfriend's looking for a job right now, and she's having a brutal time. And she's gone through college and shit. She's totally talented.
This place is...
And a wicked artist.
This place is... BC is quite literally at the worst I have ever fucking seen it.
Comment.
I have never spent more than 2.5 months. Was the longest I'd ever spent up to this point trying to find a fucking job. Our economy could not be any more fucking worse if, fucking... Did he actually win? Deshaun's is the fucking premier?
Okay, so
Oh,
moving right along,
fuck.
Kurt Bert has a rant, so we're gonna actually we'll let
He's
for
one of those crooked white fuckers. Don't trust those people further than you can throw them. White fuckers, I can't stand them.
Yeah, kill all the white men.
We
Kill
make
all
fun
the
of
white
the
men.
odd racial stereotype once in a while because it's funny. But really, when it comes right down to it, white people are shifty as fuck. I don't trust them.
Yeah, they kill everybody. I'm white. I kill.
Do you want to know why European stock is so fucking mean? Look.
Get back to our heritage.
Look
Let's
at.
start taking land away from people.
Just look.
Here, have some blankets. Fuck.
Look at exactly where the fuck Europeans evolved in. Look at the weather in that place.
Before we go any further, Kurt Bert had a rant on the governmental subject, and God damn it, he's going to get a chance to say it.
Okay.
Here we go, Kurt Bert.
It's about technical state in BC. I just finished 3 years of schooling to become an electronics technician that I can do this shit that Sean's talking about. Okay? I spent 3 years of my sweat and my parents' money.
Honesty, damn it, yes.
Yeah.
That's his.
I went through those 3 years with a guy who just came from Hong Kong. Previous to school, of course. He has an engineering degree, mechanical engineering. He just came from Hong Kong after spending 3 years as a team leader for a major electronic firm in Hong Kong. The minute he walked off the plane, when he got here, he had a job at one of our local electronic distributors, manufacturers. Why? Because they know after the 3 years and he gets his certification to work in BC, they have an engineer on their hand. Not just a guy who, like me, who's learning the ropes. No, they have an engineer. My job does not exist anymore because all of these guys coming from Hong Kong and other countries that don't have the certification here, they spend the 3 years in the same program I do, they have instant jobs. Can I find a job? No. I can't even find a fucking job soldering. The cheapest, low-ass job you can ever imagine doing in the electronics field. soldering. I can't get
California.
Yeah, right.
Ever
Unfortunately,
thought about becoming a porn star?
unfortunately, Kurt Bert basically is into property. He has the dreaded M word. Mortgage.
Ooh, that's really bad. I try to avoid that. But, you know, whatever. I don't know.
But no, seriously, like I was talking about it, you think about it, why the fuck were Europeans... Ryan, you're really making horrible noises with the cord.
Just keeping everybody awake.
Okay. Why the hell is basically... Why are Europeans so fucking mean? Look at where we evolved. Look at Europe. Where other place really on the world does the weather routinely, every year, try to fucking kill you?
Canada?
Yeah, well, I know exactly.
The prairies. The prairies. Every summer, you have deer standing in the road.
And why is
they want to die?
Because they're bored. And in the wintertime, there's a semi coming. It's white. 4 miles. It's like a white piece of paper, and there's one black dot with lights on it coming out of the distance.
You notice
and the deer stand there in the middle of the road with a smoke in their mouth going, well, that's fucking it for me. I'm going to come back as a fucking eagle or some shit, because this is
You notice
fucking
the
over, man.
topographical difference, though, between, say, the prairies over here in North America and Europe, where the white people came from. Well, you know, there's actual topography. You can hide from the weather. You can sort of survive it, tough it out. Prairies, you're fucked.
Oh, you are fucked. It's void.
It beat
you remember the never-ending story, the Great Nothing? It's on the prairies.
It beat the native Indians into the ground,
They
so
didn't-
they were easy pickings for us.
They didn't live there. The Indians did not live in the prairies. Nobody lived in the prairies. Groundhogs didn't live in the fucking prairies.
Just take a plane ride from Toronto to Vancouver and look out the window the whole way and see how excited you get by, wow, there's a lot of fields.
No, I'll tell you the worst fucking thing. Try taking the bus through the fucking prairies. Yep, Sean's done it. Ryan's done it.
Just talking about the whole European connection there, I'd like to apologize to both Sean Kennedy the man and Dak, who of Irish descent, mine being Saxon. We didn't have any blacks to pick on, so we had to find somebody.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's like these people were so mean they couldn't wait to colonize, the different little jungle bunnies that we would eventually run into. No. They had to build their own. Welcome to the Irish,
Yeah, it's fucking brutal. But I mean, the funny thing is, it doesn't
Jungle bunnies. I grew up in New York. Okay, let's put it this way.
All right.
I'd like to make something very, very clear. I am not racist. I really don't give a shit what the fuck somebody's
I'm
color
not
is.
racist. I know lots of black people.
No. Seriously, I don't care what anybody's color is. I do not care. However, I will admit right now, for anyone to hear, I am the biggest cultural bigot on the face of the earth. If you do not have my culture, I don't like you. I don't want you here. If you come here, you have to adopt my culture or you can get the fuck out.
Culture is another word for bacteria. I don't want your bacteria.
Okay, no, I mean, basically, if you do not adopt a North American culture when you come here, go the fuck home. Look at what basically happened when my ancestry came here. When the Irish basically fucking descended on North America in mass because we were starving...
Yeah, by the British who starved us out. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, by the way, we won't even go into that story. But but anyhow...
What about the Scottish?
What
about me?
What about the Scottish? Klozinski? Yeah, that's a really solid Scottish name.
We beat the shit out of them years before.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're a hardy people.
You're not Scottish.
I'm Scottish Polish.
A Scottish Polak named Klozinski. Shouldn't that be like Mick Klozinski?
It was a low
It was
end.
too hard to say.
Do you know why Polacks all
Klozinski?
Do you know why all the Polak names end with ski?
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think I've heard this one before. Lay it on me, Sean.
Because they're too fucking dumb to spell toboggan.
Oh, that's a new one. Shut up.
I mean,
here's one for Sean and with the Irish theme.
Oh, yes.
The difference between lace curtain Irish and shanty Irish. Lace curtain Irish take the dishes out of the sink before they piss in it.
All right. Fuck you. So, moving right along.
No. Girl on the left, I grew up in New York. I grew up in the largest melting pot on the face of the earth. And I love people who would basically come there and would hold on to part of their culture, but yet would adapt to the new culture.
It is not melting pot American philosophy there, girl on left. Okay, the multicultural concept is some BC bullshit. It does not work. You want multiculturalism? No. You have tribes. You go to Richmond, what do you have? You have the Chinese tribe. You go to Surrey, what do you have? You have the East Indian tribe. That's not multicultural. You don't have these people. They come into a community and they ghettoize.
Ghettos.
That's exactly what it is. They fall into a ghettoized subsection.
Do you know what basically the word ghetto basically means? It means an enclosed society. It means its own town.
Fucking totally. And you cannot tell. How do you get from India to fucking China? Take the Alex Fraser fucking bridge, man. That is the way it is. It's not racism. It is not racism. It's geography, motherfucker. Look at it. I mean, these people, they wall themselves the fuck in there. Some of them don't even speak the language, which is cool, whatever. It pisses me off,
That's
too.
what pisses me
Except
off.
when you have to deal with them, trying to get parts or something.
That's what